Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Kyle's and Zoom up here on the Zoom Sports Network Live, and we have a lot to catch up on. And sorry for the delay in video, just haven't had a moment to do one in the past few weeks, as you know, like work and other stuff. So sorry about that on the delay, but we have a lot to catch up about with you. So before we start into hour 2. Games that we will take a full depth analysis into. We are going to take a look at the past couple of weeks, give you updated on the records and all that, and tell you what has happened before this past week of football. So for South Iredale, who will play Mooresville this week, they went 2-2 thus far. They lost to Rocky River, West Iredale, and they're coming off a loss to Cox Mill, 28-7. So taking a look at North Iredale here. They are 2-2 as well. They won Little Central, won Forbush, lost to AC, and coming off a loss to Lake Norman. And then West Rowan, they are 2-1, and they lost to Mooresville, won North Rowan, and won Davie in a close one, 38-31. That was a good contest. Now, let's transfer over to the IMET real quick to just give you caught up on the past couple of weeks of that division. For the Blue Devils of Mooresville, they are 3-0. They defeated Westerland, Davie, and A.L. Brown. A.L. Brown was a good contest, 24-21. That was last week. A very, very big win for the Blue Devils. And they will come into South Iredale tonight. So let's move on to a couple other teams. So we are going to look at North Met, who will play Mooresville in about the next week or two. Just make sure I have all the teams open. There we go. I got them all open now. So North Met, they are in at 4-0. They defeated Jordan, Olympic, Rocky River, and sorry, actually 3-0. They're coming in 3-0 before this upcoming week of football. They are 3-0. They defeat Jordan, Olympic, and Rocky River. They play Cox Mill this week. Mallard Creek, they're coming off. They're 2-0. Butler and Philip O'Berry, they will play Harding this week. West Charlotte, they are 2-1. They beat Geringer, lost to West Met, beat Harding. They play Philip O'Berry this week. Lake Norman, they are 1-2. They lost to West Forsyth. One Sheffield, a loss to South Iredale. Hopewell, the Titans, they are 0-3. They play Olympic. Huff, they are 3-0. They defeated Harding, Providence, and Concord. They are going to play Artery Hill this week. In advance, the Cougars, they are 3-0. They defeated West Mecklenburg. Monroe and Rocky River, they will play South Met this week. So that's just getting you caught up of what has happened in the past couple weeks. And thus, so forth. So now we are moving on to what is happening this week. So, of course, everybody knows the games have been moved forward. And most teams have already played. There is one game going on right now, and that is Chiefs Mountain at Shelby. There's about 8 minutes and 51 seconds left in the quarter. It's in the third, and Shelby's up 21 to 10. So I'm watching that on YouTube. I will post the link of that video as well in my comments here. So if you want to go check that contest out, there is the link in the chat. So anyway, so moving on, we're going to have 2 games that we're going to go full bet analysis for this video. First game will be the Greyhounds of Statesville taking on Watertown. This was a game that I attended. It was on a Wednesday night, and just gotta tell you, it was probably one of the most boringest games I have ever been to. Just the atmosphere was lacking. Just everything was just lacking. Watertown is coming in at 1-3. They lost to Lexington, won against Winston-Salem Prep, and lost to Portland. So, just taking a look at this contest, it was all Statesville. Statesville won 33 to nothing. So I was there. Watertown has the look. Like, they do have the eye test for me for a 2A program. But they just don't have no speed or anything. But the one thing that they really struggled was the old line. The old line really struggled. I feel I don't want to say I feel bad, but I will say the quarterback for Watertown, number 9, he cut some big licks that you're like, is he going to get back up? But I will say he is one tough dude, and he played throughout the contest. I'll give credit to him. He's a great player. Just don't have a lot of time. They run an interesting offense. They majority ran the ball. They had some success, but like I said, Statesville won, but Statesville did start out slow. Like, Statesville had like 2 turnover on down. They had maybe like a punt and stuff like that. So Statesville started out slow, giving you the score, the score box. Statesville scored 7 and 7 in the first half, so it was only 14-0 at half. Then Statesville scored 6 in the third and 13 in the fourth quarter. So as you can tell, it just got a little bit bigger. So this was not a great game for Statesville, but it is a win. A win's a win. And hold on, something's going on with my browser. What the heck? There we go. Sorry about that. Something was going on with my browser. But anyway, Statesville won this contest. So that moves Statesville to 4-1 thus far, and dropping Watertown to 1-4. Statesville, like I said, slow start. They ran the ball pretty well. I mean, to be honest, there wasn't a lot of resistance. Watertown seems like they gotta get some numbers out there and get a little tougher. And they just got to get better at what they do. But they have a good gun coach in Mitch Reeves, who I know on Twitter, so I know he'll get them prepared. On the positive note, they're not 0-4. Last year they went 0-11. They've won 1 game this year, so that is a positive in that aspect. So hopefully they'll build and get better and better. But they're in a tough area as they're in Watertown. If you don't know where Watertown is right in the dead middle of Winston-Salem, and there's like maybe 5 schools, just surrounded that area. So Watertown probably mostly closer to Reagan High School, and you probably have West Forsyth High School also nearby as well. So those are 2 big schools that probably take the majority of kids in that area. So we'll have to see. But yeah, that game, Statesville won, so that all it needs to be said. Statesville will play Anson County, and that game will be at Anson County. and then they'll open up conference play. So let's transition over to the Blue Devils of Mooresville. I'll probably give you more intel on this game because there was actually more to talk about this team. So, for the Blue Devils, they're coming in 3-0, taking on the 2-2 South Iredell Vikings at South Iredell. Just from the start, I knew Mooresville was going to win this contest. South Iredell, they had some early success but just didn't do a whole lot. They did some. I call it power I because all they did was line up, had their big boys in front, and just push forward and try to run the ball. They did some RPOs, mainly as a quarterback doing the runs. I think they may have a couple completions, but probably not a whole lot of completions. They maybe let's just say 8 passes completed. I might be being a little over on that, but I'll be generous. But Mooresville dominated this contest. So just give you a couple stats here for Mooresville. Hunter DiMarino, he had an okay game. Just looking at the stat wise, he had 12 completions up in 21 attempts, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 late interception. Our leading rusher would be number 2, Flamir Connor. He had 72 yards on 5 carries. And then also number 36, Glenwood Robinson. He had 7 carries, 36 yards for 2 touchdowns. Our leading receiver, who actually probably broke a school record this game, he had 5 receptions for 159 yards for 2 touchdowns, but he had we called it a 94. It might be 93 on the stat, but stat-wise it's 93. So that might be a new school record for the longest passing touchdown in Mooresville. I'm not sure if it is, but if it isn't, it's probably gonna tie or put at least in the top 5 if it's not a new record. So congratulations to number 7 and Justin Torrance to get that piece. And then defensively, just have defensive stats on. Okay. So defensively, we did very well. I thought we did better in the second half. First half, we started out slow, a little sluggish here at times, where we couldn't stop the run, we didn't stop the QB going to the outside, stuff like that, but we really got better as the game went along. For South Iredell, per se, just their game plan seemed odd to me. They just try to run the ball a lot. I know they probably don't have a lot of wide receivers, but they can't even go for a lot of passes. So I don't know if they can't or they just don't have nobody to throw it to. But I mean, you just can't run the ball 90 million times and hope to win. Just my personal opinion, because when you play a good defense, they're gonna start stacking the box or put some spice out there. So when you do a RPO or whatever or an option, they're gonna set the edge so they can get there. But we'll have to see how they do in the next couple of weeks. So I also did the Stort tracker. You can also go into Matt's Prep and look at that. So, like I said, we stayed on them most of the time. It was 38-0 late in the fourth. South Iredell scored on the second string of Mooresville to, put a 7 on the board. So, in the you staying on the board. I thought Mooresville played really well, but there are a couple of things that we need to tighten up and fix. Penalties, we had like 3 to 4 offsides. We had a couple of other penalties of defensive holding and a couple others that were not good penalties. Also, I've been adamant about this. Um, our defense has played very, very well, and I thought this game would probably be our most complete game defensive-wise. But if you look at the Navy game, A.L. Brown game, we gave up a lot of yards and gave up a lot of big plays. So we just got to tighten down a little bit more on defense, which I think we did against South Iredell. So, but we got to keep that going in the conference play. We just got to tighten things up. Just tighten up, do what we need to do, and do what the coaches say, and make sure we're getting good assignments. Stop trying to tackle high. Stop trying to go. Now, I'm not saying don't go for the ball, but if you can't get the ball, tackle him down to the ground. I get a little irritated how you're trying to rip the ball away, and he's still on his feet. He's getting 5-10 yards because you're trying to rip the ball out. Bring him down to the ground. And also, I gotta reiterate this just because the past couple of weeks, in my personal opinion, we've been having some crapping issues. Now, that's just from my perspective. It may not be, but it's been muggy. So please, Mooresville athletes, this is directly to the athletes. Please hydrate, 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 hydrate. I'm getting, the more that you keep cramping and you get landed on or something and you keep cramping and cramping and cramping, it just gets a pain in the rear. Then you got to come out for a play or two. Then you just go back in and, so just hydrate. Make sure you're eating your protein, your carbs, all that, and stuff like that on game day. And make sure you get plenty of rest as well. So just want to get that out there as well. But anyway, back to the game. Mooresville did pretty well. As you can see, they did very well on passing. They had some really big run plays that went for big yards. And we had good passing. Looks like every receiver has had at least one catch this game. So, really good. And, but like I said, South Iredell, they just didn't look ready, in my personal opinion. I don't know what to say about it. But I will say this. If you get pressure on Ty Everhart, who is currently the quarterback at South Iredell, if you get pressure, his passing is not that great under pressure. He did make one very good throw early. Good pass right to the receiver, right down the middle. But other than that, just passing wasn't there, and also run game was not there at all second half. So South Iredell has some work to do going into conference of play. South Iredell, they are now 2-3. They will take on a very, very tough West Forsyth team. They're 2-2. West Forsyth is probably slightly down to West Forsyth standards, so that game might be a little bit more competitive than we think, possibly. And then they open up conference play at Statesville for South Iredell. That's a big game, and you got to win that game if you want to stay in contention of a conference. Then they play Westerland right after Statesville. So those are two games you probably have to win if you want to win conference. And I just don't know if South beats Statesville or Westerland at this very moment. Could be wrong, but we'll have to see. So for the Blue Devils of Mooresville, they move up to 4-0 of the season, and they will have their very, very first toughest test of the year against North Mecklenburg. The Vikings are up. Let me make sure. I don't think they're 5-0. I believe they're 4-0. I think there's an error on their match prep. Yeah, they're 4-0. They're 4-0. So North Met is 4-0. Mooresville 4-0. Big game there. For North Met, they've scored 202 points, given up 111. Mooresville has scored 135 and given up 67. Looks like both teams peaked in the second quarter at their most scored and they seem pretty similar, but just North Met slightly higher. Looks like North Met is right along, mostly passing, but they do have 79.8 yards per game. Mooresville is pretty balanced. Here's the other stat leaders. Sorry, I'm getting a little too caught up in this. Let me stop it right there. Sorry. I'll probably do another video on this, hopefully midweek. So let me stop there. But as you can tell, this is going to be a big game. This is the start of conference play in the IMET, so it's going to be a really, really tough contest and a really good one at that. Both teams are 4-0, and this should be a good one. And this game is at Mooresville, so big game for the Blue Devils. So anyway, that's going to probably wrap up my video. We went to 20 minutes today. That's very impressive because there's been a lot to talk about. So anyway, give me your feedback, comments, concerns, etc. Comment below with what you think about the past couple games and what you think about the games that are upcoming. Also, remember to subscribe and turn that notification key on, so once I do go live a little bit more, you'll get every notification. You'll know when I'm going live and all that. So thank you for watching. Give your feedback, comments, etc. Thank you for watching the Zoom Sport Network and the Kyle Simpson Live exclusive, and have a great day. Always remember, go Big Blue.